We are going live. Now we can start. So, good morning, everyone. Today I welcome Mr. Maz Ahmad Khan, founder and CEO of Top Cube Electric. He's working from Adventure Park. He's owning a company named as Top Electricity. So, here we are conducting an session which is under Impact Lecture Series where we are organizing about intellectual property rights. So, our speaker is Maz Ahmad Khan, founder and CEO of Top Electric. So from now onwards, I just pass my dayas to Mr. Maz Ahmad Khan, founder and CEO of Top Philips. Please continue, sir.
Thanks for that, Jyoti. A very good afternoon, everybody. If you could just share the YouTube link with me, I will also be in touch with how many other attendees over there.
Yeah, of course. Please continue. I will check.
I can go accordingly if I can see any questions or something popping up. That will be helpful.
Yeah, of course.
If you guys could just put it in the chat box.
Okay, I will.
Thanks for that. I'll be starting in like 2-3 minutes. Just give me. Thanks for that. I'll be starting. Thanks for that. I'll be starting. I hope I'm audible and visible too.
Yes, you are. Please continue, sir.
Good sound. Hi everybody, this is Maz Ahmed Khan. I'm the founder and CEO of Torque Electric. So basically, let me just give you a small introduction or something of what we actually do over here at Torque Electric. So basically, we convert your existing fuel-powered vehicles to electric uh, because we have been seeing those rising rates of fuel, and it is not going to come down anytime soon. And we all have one or the other vehicle parked at our home which we no longer use. So instead of scrapping that vehicle away, what you can do is you can just convert that vehicle and use it for your daily rides. So that is how you will be reducing the carbon credits. You will have your own vehicle. You'll not spend a bomb on a new vehicle, and a lot of stuff. And if you go out in the market to buy a new electric vehicle, it costs a bomb. Hence, this is the better alternative out of it and the more environment friendly alternative out of it. Uh, yeah. So today's topic is intellectual property rights. Basically, what intellectual property right actually means. So what it means is, for example, you have an innovation or you have created something which is unique to you, and you want to preserve it and you want to prevent it from people copying it. This is where intellectual property actually comes in. That becomes your intellectual property because you have invented it or you have given birth to it or you are the inventor of it, and you want to protect it from others copying or cheating with it. The best example is when you usually go and watch films, right? Over there, all the films are copyrighted with the director and producers of that movie, so that people cannot copy the exact same thing. Yeah, replicas can be made, and permissions for, you know, converting it to a different language or can be taken, but the exact same copy cannot be copied by anybody. Obviously, if you have to do something, you do have to take some permissions and stuff for that, and hence copyrights are there in place. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please continue, sir.
So let's just start with the presentation that will help us understand better of what intellectual property rights are, or how do I go with that? I can just keep explaining or whatever you guys feel. Let's start and then we'll see how it goes, right? Once again, hello and welcome everybody to this presentation on intellectual property rights. We will be Today we'll be learning in detail about what intellectual property rights are, what are the type of intellectual property rights, and how, for example, if you have something to do, how do you apply for it, and stuff like that. So basically, there are two under properties you can understand in this block diagram very well. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible, sir. Please continue.
So basically, there are two types of properties. One are the tangible properties. Under tangible properties, what happens is you are under tangible properties again. You have two other subtopics which are movable and immovable. So movable comes under transportation and stuff like that, and immovable are properties, your buildings and your infrastructure that you build upon. These kind of properties cannot are your intellectual properties, but you cannot patent it. For these, you have registrations, because when you buy a new vehicle or when you buy a new house, you get it registered on your name, and you have notary papers related to that. You have some valid papers to show that you own these stuff. So these are properties which are tangible, under which movable and immovable come, and the other intellectual properties. From the industrial related properties, which include design, patents, trademarks, geographical indications, and copyright related stuff. So this is where intellectual property rights actually come into place, because when people saw we
Live,
had something like a car or a bus or
live,
a
sir.
property or a house,
Live is
we
going
knew
on.
that we have papers to show the registration of it. But what about when it comes to ideas? What about when it comes to design? What about when it comes to uniqueness? Everybody cannot. Back in the days, they did not have a solution, or they did not have a system where they could go and register these kind of stuff. So that is when the United Nations came up with intellectual property rights, and we'll discuss about the history more in the coming slides. So basically, there are five types of intellectual property rights, as you can see in this slide. There are patents, there are trademarks, there are industrial designs, there are geographical indications, and there are copyrights. Mostly exclusive rights which are given to a person over creation of their minds. Exactly, as I said, right? Intellectual property is your property which you have created. It is unique to you. You have made an innovation which nobody else has thought, and this innovation is unique to everybody. It actually solves a problem, or it may create some easiness. I will give you a few examples of where people have created interesting and amazing designs which have changed how we have evolved as people, and uh, how we have developed as a nation and as a country and as a planet as a whole. But they have not patented these designs because they are so global and they are used so oftenly. Had they had done that, it would have been a huge problem for everybody else who is using it right now. The best example is seat belts, the 3-point seat belt that we have. If you have watched in those old movies, you can see in the car that they only have, or in the planes, the seat belt that they have is only a one single point seat belt, what we just tie it around your waist and just tighten it up. That is the type of seatbelts that were used until the 1960s and 70s. That is when an engineer An engineer at Volvo came up with the 3-point seat belt, and that is where he invented it. And Volvo did not get it patented, or that engineer did not get it patented on his name. Had he done that, no other manufacturer, no other person in the entire world other than Volvo could have had a 3-point seatbelt in their car. So this is also one thing, that people do innovate stuff which has led to a lot of development, a lot of safety systems, a lot of other stuff, but they do not get it patented so that they have others also have the freedom to use it. Another example is the construction of bridges over waterways, over seaways, over just to ease mobility, or just to fast out traffic. If the original construction company had patented that design, or if the original architect had patented the idea of bridges, he might have, obviously you can patent your unique design, but he did not patent the entire idea of bridges or roadways or waterways or whatever. Had he done that, only that particular construction company or architect would have had the audacity, or would have had the permission or freedom to construct bridges anywhere in the world. If you make a new design, or if you have a new, for example, during those days there were only bridges made of wood. Then there came bridges made of rocks. Now we also have hanging bridges and cable bridges. So yeah, these are the advancements that have come in under the same topic. But yeah, the idea is there. The main concept, you get the main concept, right? Moreover, intellectual property rights, because this is your unique idea, you have innovated it, you might have wasted, you might have used your resources, you might have put in your time, you might have put in your energy, you might have given it everything to come to that conclusion, to make that one thing which nobody else has thought of, and it is very unique to everybody and solves a problem, or eases something, or is a great solution to a problem statement, and you deserve the respect and you deserve the stuff, right? For that, you have the monopoly, and you have the intangible potential asset. Yeah, you can actually go and sell these patents elsewhere or afterwards whenever you like, but initially, for that initial traction, as they say in the startup journey, uh, early comer or first mover, you get that initial first traction that nobody else can copy your design. You can continue working on it, you can sell it to people, you can make advancements to it, and you can bring a lot of products related to it. You have the monopoly for a long period of time. That is one of the great assets, and that is one of the great positives that you have when you have an intellectual property registered to your name. As the You can completely relate to it when you think of a car. अगर आपकी गाड़ी है, if you own a vehicle and it gets stolen, you can very fast go and register the complaint and get the vehicle back, or you can claim the insurance. आपका घर है, you know that you are the rightful owner of the house. That is similar with a patent or a design or any other stuff or an idea. There are very thin lines related to getting it patented and copyrighted. We'll discuss more about it in the further slides. If you can just go through it very quickly, I have already mentioned these. These are some of the advantages that intellectual property rights actually give a person who has it on registered on his name, to provide an incentive to individuals for new creation, to accord new recognition to the creators and inventors, to ensure material reward for intellectual property, to make available genuine and original products. Absolutely. One more interesting case is that we all know that Adidas, Nike, Reebok, these are branded companies. When you go and buy products from these companies, there's nothing less than 2,000 to 5,000. Anything between this is the bare minimum that you can buy when you enter this and enter these enterprises or enter these stores. But then we also get the second copy and third copies. Actually, Adidas and Nike, these companies have actually filed for cases. Cases are running in courts right now as we speak in the High Court of Noida, Delhi. Case is being run against people who supply second or third copies against Adidas. They have actually filed a case related to that. And you can do that because you have the copyright, you have the IP rights, and you are the initial owner of the idea or the concept. So yeah, you do have the audacity to go, and you have the freedom to book a case against someone. Uh, Now the case is going on from a long time. Let's see what the results come out. But people mistake it as, even if we make the slightest change or a millimeter of change, we can go and file for, we can have a unique design. It is not like that. There are rules laid out for that. So yeah, you have to be really careful when you do that. There are various kind of IPRs. We'll discuss about it in detail now. One of them is patents. What are patents? Patents are invention. Whenever you make final year engineering projects, if you have gone through or you will be going through in the future, many of the people, many of your faculty members or many of your family members or friends might even ask you to file for a patent, or maybe the people who is going to question you, your examiner might say that did you apply for a patent? Did you try applying for a patent? So what are patents? These are technical solutions to technical problems. I said right, these are problem solving solutions to actual problem statements. For example, someone might have the invention of electric mobility. It was developed in the 1860s by Mr. Nikola Tesla, the Great. It was patented then by him, but nobody actually worked on it later. Till now, Nikola Tesla has passed away how many years? Hundreds of years back, but still he holds the patent to it. So that is the beauty of patents. It is for life. It is lifetime. Next are industrial designs. These are external features appealing to the eye. As I said, right? New shapes, patterns, or configuration. The best example is the you can just consider chair. The best example for industrial design is a chair. Back in the day when the chairs were made, it was like a stool, one small plank, one backrest, and four legs. Now, if you go out in the market and look for chairs, you can find chair of every design. Until and unless you have something to sit on, they are calling it a chair. There are multiple. I can show you. I will show you a good designs of chairs which have come into place. So you can patent these designs which you have created, which fulfill the need of what it is made of, and it is unique and it is very new. The basic need of a chair is to sit, or to have a comfortable posture, to have that 90-degree angle, or to actually make you sit. Chair is used. If that is met, and you have bought in a new design or innovation, boom, you can call it a chair, and that is how you can file for an industrial design. Trademarks are the logos that you see when you see some. You can go and actually you can see Nike ऊपर small C लिखा हुआ रहता है, TM लिखा हुआ रहता है. These are trademarks. Copyrights के लिए C रहता है, trademarks के लिए 3T रहता. So these are visual symbols such as words. You can actually trademark a word, name, logo, label, monogram, slogan. For example, you have your own domain. You can trademark that. You have a line. For example, LG ka hai, life's good. They have actually trademarked it. Whenever you see the advertisement, there is a small T coming above it. It is very small. You need to look into the details to find it actually, and then you can apply it for an article of manufacturing or a service. For example, if you write an article, you can actually trademark it so that when people use it, one of the other advantages of IPR is if you hold an IPR on your name, if anybody wants to use it, you will get a royalty on it also. That is one of the good parts also. For example, if someone wants to use it, they'll have to contact you, and then blah 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 blah. Things can happen in that aspect. Maybe you do not have any ideas to pursue with it, or you do not want to continue with it. You can actually sell it, or you can ask the person for some percentage that yeah, let's work on it together. I have this idea. I have come until now. You can take it forward, but then I'll have some percentages and something like that. And you develop the idea, and let's see what happens of it. You get that freedom when you have it registered to your name. Maybe you have created something which is very unique, but you forgot to get it patented. Someone else has gotten it patented, they will have the right to it. You have done the entire hard work, entire everything. You have put your blood and sweat into it, but someone else saw the opportunity, so-called opportunities to do this, but it is very wrong. It is not ethical. You should not do it. Another type of IPR is the copyright. I said right. This is a trademark को T आता है, so copyright को C आता. Copyrights are basically in the music world, in the industry, in the film industry. You copyright movies. When you go and actually listen to songs, you see copyright infringement. Or if you have uploaded your YouTube video and you have used a music which is subjected to copyright, you will actually get, if you upload something with that on on YouTube, within the next 10 to 12 hours, you'll get a mail that you have copied something. Please request the access to it, or just pay for it, or just remove it from your channel. three strikes of copyright infringement and your channel gets banned. So these are the complexities of copyrights also. And copyrights are created, you need to apply for a copyright as soon as your work is created. For example, you have created a movie. The moment the movie is created, you have to apply for a copyright, because if it goes into some other people's hand and they apply it before you, it becomes their property, it becomes their intellectual property, and they will have all the rights over it. Even if you are the original owner, you have done all the hard work behind it. So be very careful when you're applying for copyrights. uh, I mentioned music. Yeah, also, you can actually copyright dance moves if they are unique. Bharatnatyam ho gaya. These are all copy. So when you go into these kind of things, you can see the father of Bharatnatyam or the father of this. These dance moves have been copyrighted by them. Then there are graphical indications. So what a graphical? This is a really interesting thing. And graphical indications came into existence very recently. Very recently, it means 1970s or 80s, because intellectual properties are there from the 1870s, 1860s. So yeah, graphical indications are basically, you might have seen Darjeeling tea. These are the things which are unique to a place, which are specific to a locality or to a place. For example, Kolkata's rasgullas are really famous. So Kolkata rasgulla. This is a graphical indication of what this place is known for, or what this thing is sold usually. One of the great examples can also be Hyderabadi biryani, but it is not sold as Hyderabadi biryani elsewhere, right? Outside Hyderabad, it is sold, so that becomes a graphical indication of where this originally comes from. One of the great examples is Darjeeling tea. And can you come up with more examples like this where there is a name of a state related to something? Mysore Park. These are the things which are graphical indications. Yeah, another organize the so how does these things happen? I mentioned about patents, I told about trademarks, I told about copyrights, I told about graphical indication registrations. So all these have to be registered. Where can you go and register them? There are offices made, and they are not in every state. They are not in every all these offices not present everywhere. So there are five or six offices present in the entire country. In India, there are four for trademark registrations in Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai. For patent registrations in Ahmedabad, Chennai, Nagpur, and stuff. You can go and Google them, and you'll get all the locations. And it is a really simple process to apply for a patent, but it definitely takes a long time, because we are living. Let's face it, we are living in the 21st century. Someone somewhere might have tried to innovate stuff that we have tried to create. So yeah, people, they have to go through the entire record of the patent history to find something which does not clash with us, and then actually give us a patent. Patents can actually take from about 2 years to 16 to 15 years to actually you getting a patent. So yeah, it is a really long process, but the fruits are really fruitful. So these are some of the patent offices. The nearest one to us is Mumbai. Then there is Chennai. There is New Delhi. There is Kolkata. Let's come to the validity of these intellectual properties. A patent is valid for 20 hours, but you will have to renew it every year. What the best part about patents and renewals is, you have this idea which you have patented. The validity remains for 20 years, but you will have to get it renewed every.
Nidhi, Assalamu alaikum. Jai Hind. I'm audible, sir.
Awesome.
Okay. So please continue. Sorry for that.
Good. So I guess we were. Yeah, I was letting you know about the validity of internal intellectual property rights that you have. For example, you apply for a patent. There was a question in the chat box. Let me answer that question. Someone asked that how much does it cost for a patent? So it depends on the patent that you're applying. What type of a patent are you applying? Depending on that, it varies from anywhere about 2000 rupees to about 8000, 9000 rupees also. When you apply for patents, you actually have to submit an entire book kind of thing. जितने ज़्यादा pages रहे आपकी book में, the more number of pages that you have in your booklet or in you have your application submission, that is more that is how the pricing is determined in patents. So yep. So patents are valid for a maximum with maximum protection of 20 years. Trademarks are lifelong, and you'll have to renew them every 10 years. Designs are 15 years long. After 10 years you'll have to do it for 5 year. You have to do a renewal after 5 years. Copyrights are lifelong, right? You do not require a copyright once again. And usually copyrighted things actually die with time. For example, people do not actually go and listen to that 60s, 70s, 40s and 50s का music anymore. And वो time पे copyright हुआ था होगा. People might have copyrighted it back then, but then it died. As the time moved on, it has died. But 60 years is a long time, and it is one of the highest which has been provided by the Indian government. More than that, it is provided by UK and Europe, US and Europe. I guess it is 70 years, but other countries just give you a lifetime validity of just 50 years. So that is how those are things which are taken care by the government. And then geographical indications are lifelong because once a name gets associated with something which is geographical, yeah, you cannot change it. For example, Hyderabadi biryani, it cannot become something else. Mysore Park cannot become something else. Darjeeling tea cannot become something else. These are specific to these locations. You will find them authentic only in these locations. Yeah, Ooty is quite famous for chocolates and coffee, but there can be a brand called Ooty Coffee. But when you relate these words, that is a geographic that comes into your mind. So hence these are called geographical indications, and these are lifelong. If you have filed for a geographical indication, you are obligated to renew it after every 10 years. And as it is mentioned in the note, right? 6 months is, for example, you have forgotten to transfer it or you have forgotten to renew it, you still have it for 6 months and then it is auctioned off. This shape cannot be bought by any. PepsiCo cannot sell it in the same bottle. They'll have to have a different design. And then there's a patent respect to the bottle equipment. वो कैसा बना होगा bottle, वो molds वगैरह. So how this bottle is made, the equipment that is used to make the bottle, the process that is used to make the bottle, the material that have been used, those things come under patent. And whatever is written on this bottle, all are copyrighted. All these designs, cuts, and crevices that you see in this bottle, these are all copyrights. Nobody can have the same cut with the same diameter, same dimensions, and some things. Now, Coca-Cola is drunk everywhere around the world, so it cannot have a GI. Otherwise, it could also have had a GI also. Actually, there is this country in the South America, I guess, or North America. They drink Coke as often as you drink water. So yeah, that is one bad habit. You should not do it. One of the other examples of a great lawsuit is Apple filing against HTC. So when Apple launched the iPhone, the basic UI iPhone 1 जब launch हुआ था, when Apple launched iPhone 1, HTC was another mobile company that was very good with the button wala mobiles at that time. So the moment they saw Apple launching iOS software and what do you say iOS functionality and the user interface that they have that they had, uh, HTC tried to copy it and they failed miserably and they had this very big lawsuit on their heads and they had to pay for damages. And great stories when you go for, yeah, one of the great examples for graphical indication is Kolhapuri chappal.
Still more, it will continue.
More happen.
See, this Apple iPhone, right? The design of the phone is a patent, and the logo of the Apple that you see is a trademark. If you closely watch, when you see this written iPhone over here, you will also see a T written over here.
No,
So yeah, that is there.
that
One of the
password is
other
working, but
industrial
this Wi-Fi is
graphical
not working.
indication is Tirupati Laddu. We discussed about the
Yaar hai
Coca-Cola
kya?
bottle.
Oh,
I guess I'll finish in the next 10 minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask, or I'll
करता हूँ
go
ये
on
हो
with
जा
it
तो
because this will take me another 45
लाइट
minutes.
चल
So
रहा है
yeah,
भाई
we'll stop. These are more details and more
क्या
uh, in-depth stuff of what
अच्छा
patents, trademarks, copyrights are. If you want any other information related to that, you can reach out to me anytime. I'll help you out with this. And if you want to apply for a patent, this is the website. I do have some contacts also, so I can help you out in applying for any patents that are there that you have or you want to share. Uh, for I told you about this. It is for and patents are obviously given by the government of whatever country you are applying in. 20 years is the time. These are some of the rules that you need to go to before applying for a patent. I told you about the offices, where are the patent offices located. Criterias. These are all sections you have to because this will take me a lot of time. So yep, I was asked to finish by one. I guess it is time. Do you have any questions, anybody? I'll answer a few questions in the chat box and then we'll finish it. These are some of the patents for industrial design. The people, those who try to copyright, they face huge fines. I told you about the chair, right? See, it completes the purpose of sitting, but look at the design. This is an industrial heels. This is an industrial trade, industrial design trademark. Then this bottle, the trademark, the patent is for the design of the bottle, and the trademark is the logo, because logos and slogans are what can be trademarked, right? See, generally a brand or a logo. These are some of the common, many extensively seen trademarks that you see. All these things are trademarks. If you dare to use this, you will have a great lawsuit behind your backs. See, over here you can see, right? Everywhere you can see an R registered, trademark. There is an R over here. There is an R over here. It's not visible. R over here. PepsiCo, there is an R over here. There is a TM wala logo over here. There is an R and Adidas. Yahoo के पास R है. Burger King पे R है. FedEx पे R है. Everywhere it is always visible. And there are copyrights. I told you about film. I told you about the HTC wala thing. Architecture. Yeah, then this is term of copyrights. I told, right? India gives it for 60 years, and the USA and Europe goes for 70 years. Other countries give it for 50 years. See, these are some of the examples for geographical indications. Tirupati Laddu, Nagpur's orange. Yep. और कुछ है? You. One more great example that we can relate to is Moinabad ke farmhouse. These are all graphical indications. My welcome. Well, I don't think so anybody else has any doubts or queries. If you want me to continue, I can for the next 10-15 minutes. But then, yeah, all this is all in depth and detail. These are some of the examples. See, uh, Alfonso mango, Kashmiri pashmina is an example for graphical indication. Agra pete, Bikaner wala bhujia, all these. Well, that's it from my side, and thank you so much for having me here. A special thanks to the management of Shadan College and the series IIC lecture series. It is an honor and pleasure to always be with you, and looking forward to more such sessions. Thank you so much, Hamza, for being such a great host. If I'm not taking your name wrong,
thank you sir for contacting us, just helping our students. So
always a pleasure.
it was a great session. So I would like to continue and I would like to conclude this session by thanking Mr. Maz Ahmad Khan, founder CEO of Top Electric. So we are having YouTube channel, which if anyone is having doubts, then they'll just let you know. Okay.
Absolutely. If you have any doubts related to like the IP rights, you can just text me on WhatsApp, or you can just ping me on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. My ID is Mars@9899. More than happy to help you out with stuff. I'll put my Instagram ID in the chat box. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good day.
Okay, sir.